My mother's new friend tried to exploit her, but I shut her down fast.
I said, let me hit that power button. Power down.
I cannot for the life of me figure out why I feel like this, but all of my spidey senses are tingling on this woman. Here's a bit of the background. My 40 female elderly mom, 70 female, has been ill for quite some time and is on hospice. She was living in an independent living place where it was all elderly people in an apartment type unit. She has been living there for about 6 or 7 months and made a few casual old people friends, but mostly kept to herself. So I thought. By the way, this comes from Raising Jack. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. A couple of weeks ago, my boys and I were visiting my mom. We live right down the street and visit often. When a woman walks up to us with my mom, I extended my hand to introduce myself to this woman when she dismissed the handshake and instead went in for a hug and said, I only do hugs for family and we're pretty much family. Okay, a little weird coming from someone I've never met before and also never even heard a single mention of her, but I pretty much brush it off thinking to myself that she's probably just really lonely or something. I feel like I know a lot of people who are like, I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think she's necessarily lonely. She might just be like the type of person who's like, bring in.
Not bad as long as it's genuine.
Yeah,
like,
I think people do that a lot. I don't know. I know a lot of people who are like that, who are like,
I said that in an interview once because I was nervous, and it set
that
the
you're
tone.
A hugger?
It set the tone terribly. Yeah. Well, it was when I was still with an agency, and I went in to meet the new agents that were there.
And you were like,
they were determining who they're going to keep at the agency.
Yeah.
And I immediately had like the most awkward introduction. With them.
That sounds.
And I was like, I'm a hugger, and I was like, I'm not. Why did I say that? Like,
it wasn't genuine. I asked my mom about this new friend, and she just said they met there at the old people's place, and she's been a really good friend to her. Great. I love when my mom has friends. It's important to have friends. But this woman just keeps giving me weird vibes, and I can't pinpoint why. A few things that seem odd to me. My mom is moving to a more traditional apartment complex this weekend, and this new friend liked the new apartment complex so much that she decided to move to the same place as well. Her apartment isn't ready yet, but she'll be moving to the same complex as my mom next month. She apparently bought my mom's dog a I have the world's best auntie sweatshirt for Christmas. They had known each other for maybe 2 months at that point. She called the other day too. I don't really know why. I guess to give me her phone number and more formally introduce herself to me. She talked about doing a lot of caretaking stuff for my mom. Oh, I can manage her medications for her if you want. So I replied that while I appreciate the offer, there's a lot of controlled medications and hospice prefers to keep minimal people involved in the medicine stuff, and that taking on caretaking responsibilities for a friend can get exhausting, so it might be best for them to just focus on being friends rather than her wearing herself out trying to take care of her. She immediately went to my mom and made it sound like I was crap talking my own mom, saying how she's just an exhausting person, blah blah. When I confronted new friend about going to my mom and relaying our private conversation in a totally twisted way, the friend lied and said that my mom had grabbed her phone and read it all in the text messages. It was over the phone and not at all via text messages. When I pointed out there were no texts, she just kind of stumbled and I dropped it because I knew it wouldn't get anywhere. Every time I talked to my mom on the phone, I could hear this woman telling her what to say or adding comments in. What? She's like, okay, like, now tell her yes. Now say, we don't want to do that. I mean, say you don't want to do that.
She's literally just the Grimmer Wormtongue of
she's holding up like cards. She's like, okay, next card.
Say this. Now say that.
And none of it is outwardly worrisome things, but it feels like I can't have any conversations with just my mom. I am a very trusting person who generally tries to see the best in people, and this woman has not given me any concrete reasons to doubt her intentions and has in fact been very friendly and polite to me in all of our interactions. Nonetheless, I can't shake the feeling that there's something wrong here. Something's afoot.
Trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut.
Oh, we said that at the same time.
Oh my god. Because we're trusting our gut, man.
Oh, our guts told us to say that.
I sat my mom down yesterday and had a conversation with her about my feelings towards this new friend. And she didn't get defensive at all, but disagreed with me and said that her new friend is just being kind in offering to help with stuff because she knows my mom is not the most organized of people and could use the help. I begged my mom to please be cautious and to take the friendship slow and to keep it simply as a friendship and let me, her actual family, handle caretaking stuff. Despite no changes in medication, my mom has been more confused lately and comes across to me like she's overtaken medication. But I only give her 1 dose at a time and the rest is locked up at all times, so it isn't that. But just to be safe, since she's been more confused lately, I took my mom's credit and debit card so no one can take advantage of her financially. Reddit, please help me figure out what this woman would have to gain in coming between my mom and I if it isn't medication or money. I don't know how to do a background search or if that's legal for any random person to do, but I did look this new friend up on a couple websites, and all I learned from that is that she has a lot of also known as names, but I can't find anything else. I'll pay for a background search if anyone has a recommendation for good ones. We're in California. Does any of this raise any red flags to anyone else, or am I just being too overprotective of my mom on this? Oh, I almost forgot. I called one of my mom's oldest and closest friends the other day and asked her if she's met this new friend, and if so, what was her impression? She said, honestly, I don't know why I feel like this, but I just get a bad feeling about her. I feel like she's up to no good. And if two people have that same bad feeling, you gotta trust your
Double
gut.
guts, dude. You
Double
got 2 guts.
2 guts, that's 2 reasons to get her away from your mom.
2 guts is like more than 1 brain.
It's true. Hearing this made me feel better in that I'm not the only one to pick up on something, but I don't know what, if anything, to do about it all. What are your thoughts?
I don't trust this lady.
I don't trust her. She's suspicious.
Can you tell the community they're in?
Well, what would you tell them?
That I suspect that this other woman is fouling my mother's
And
medication.
they would be like, well, you don't have any proof. They're all about proof.
I'd just be like, just keep an eye on it. You guys can find all the proof is happening under your
investigate.
roof.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're keeping an eye on it. I think just continue to do that. If you are feeling uncomfortable, then you might be right. You might be right about something.
There's a crazy. What if she has all those other names, right?
Yeah.
She's conspiring to steal her identity.
Her identity, possibly.
Like Ibaba, Spirited Away.
Oh, she's gonna
like,
take your mom's name.
name.
Gonna take your mom's name, and then your mom's gonna be stuck in a bathhouse.
She's not gonna know what her name is anymore. She's gonna have to work in the bathhouse.
And then she's gonna have to figure it out and save a dragon. And there is an update. Thank you so much for all the responses and heartfelt advice. I'm so sorry to have been MIA for so long after I originally posted, but it's just been a lot. I needed to take a beat to take it all in and deal with real life that kept coming my way. Immediately after I posted last, I went to talk with my mom. I explained my concerns, and she agreed to the 2 cameras I put up in her apartment. On moving day, I was out of the apartment for a few minutes taking my kids back to my house when I logged onto the camera app to test out the settings. I overheard my mom and the friend talking about me. It was not very nice and very much seemed like the friend was just teeing things up to come between my mom and me. My mom was playing right into it. The friend, I'll just call her Fran to make it easier, was gone when I got back to the apartment, but I got into it with my mom. I was crying, telling her how hurtful it was to hear my own mother participating in negative conversations about me after everything I do and have done for her. She cried, I cried, it was awful. But in the end, I had at least convinced her that Fran was up to no good.
Yeah, well that's good, because as long as you're both crying.
Yeah. If she was just like, yeah.
Do you see
daughter,
what she's doing to us?
She's tearing us apart. Mom agreed to create some distance between her and Fran. She immediately told Fran that her behavior towards me was not gonna fly any longer and that all talk about me was off limits. Fran seemed to understand and blamed her behavior on some flimsy excuse that I didn't buy for a second. All was calm for a week or so, until one morning when I called my mom to check in on her, only to find out she was with Fran running errands.
Oh, I hate this.
Fran.
I hate it.
When I pushed for more information, I uncovered that Fran had taken my mom to the bank so that my mom could obtain a new debit card.
What? Dude,
blazing red flags.
Never had
Blazing
any friend
red flags.
to take me to the bank to open up a new debit card
She's
with me.
trying to steal your money. Fran very much knew I had taken my mom's debit card with my mom's blessing because my mom was having episodes of increased confusion and wasn't aware of who or what she was spending money on. My mom had forgotten she had given me her previous debit card. That was the final straw for me. That night, I sent Fran the following text message. Hi, Fran. Mom told me about you guys going to the bank today to get a card, and I just wanted to let you know that I know my mom appreciates your friendship, but I do not appreciate your getting yourself involved in things you have no business being involved in. Mom and I have her finances under control between the 2 of us, and we do not need any assistance getting her squared away, no matter how well-meaning. She's asked me to take her card again, the new one, and has put me as the main account holder so I can be sure she has access to what she needs, but that no one else does. I want to believe you're coming from a sincere place of just wanting to help my mom, but it complicates friendships greatly when you get into financial territory. I handle all of my mom's finances and medical stuff, and it's working for us that way. My mom very much appreciates having you as a friend, but she doesn't need a caretaker. I've got that covered. If you sincerely want to be her friend, you need to take 10 giant steps back and check yourself regarding how you're coming across to me. Because from my perspective, it very much looks like you are dancing precariously close to the elder line, and I'm sure you wouldn't want me to get the authorities involved here. But that's exactly what will happen if things continue down this path. Fran responded with some BS reply akin to, "Oh my word, I would never take advantage of anyone, and I just want to help your mom, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and I think you and I have gotten off the wrong foot, which is my fault, but I'd like to start over again. More blah, blah, blah." I've never replied to Fran further, and she has shockingly not really reached out to my mom since. I believe she is due to move into the apartment complex this weekend, though, so we shall see if she pops back up out of the woodwork.
Yeah, she's probably going to avoid it now because she's like, dang it, she's not as
She's
easy
on
of a
to my
scam.
tricks.
Because that's what scammers are all about, the easy target. As
Easy
soon as you
target.
don't become a soft target,
Yep,
they're going to
she's
move on to the next
moving
one.
on. I think she understands that I see through her attempts to come between my mom and me, and that she'll need to focus her efforts to scam people somewhere else. I notified my mom's hospice nurses and her social worker as well. I also bought a really super cool medication dispenser. I won't name it because I'm not plugging anything, but feel free to reach out to me if anyone has family members that need help managing medications. It's expensive and probably cost prohibitive for a lot of folks, but it has been a game changer for me to keep my mom's medicine safe and organized. That made me feel much better about Fran not having any access whatsoever to my mom's prescriptions. However, the trip to the bank showed me exactly what Fran was after. I notified the bank that if Fran is with my mom, they are to contact me immediately. All in all, I think most of you were correct. Fran was using my mom for money, or at least she was trying to, but luckily I caught it before much damage was done.
Nice.
That's what you gotta do.
Super sleuth.
I think I've made my position on Fran clear to her, which is why she's staying away. I still need to contact the independent living facility about my concerns with Fran because I swear I'm not making this up. My mom says Fran is going to be working at the facility after she moves in. Absolutely contact the facility and say, hey, these are my past experiences with this woman. I don't recommend her to be a employee at this place.
It's so tracks though that they would so tracks they'd hire someone like that. They're so ineptly managed.
Thank you again to everyone who replied and reached out to me with resources and advice. I read every reply and actually read a number of them to my mom as well. It really helped her to see Fran for who she really is. And there is an update. Any final thoughts on this?
Police report, or I don't know, you're just like, this woman was so clearly trying to commit fraud against your mom that there needs to be some paper trail for it, at least.
I think you talk to the bank, you get something there. I don't know if you can necessarily report it yet because there's technically no evidence.
Well, they stopped it. Just
exactly.
if I did not get in between this woman and my mom, she would have stolen all of her money.
No, OP is on the right track. I'm just saying I don't know if you could necessarily do a police report, but absolutely have take all of that paper trail of your interactions with the bank.
I think you could do a tip, right? It's like you call the cops. You're like, yeah, this person is actively trying to commit crimes. So be
definitely
on the lookout for that
facility.
one.
But there is an update. Thank you to those who keep checking in with me and asking about my mom. My mom is still in hospice and is doing okay, all things considered. She has her good and her bad days, but she has been mostly lucid lately, and I'm grateful for that. Fran has been mostly MIA. Thank goodness, ever since I told her, in no uncertain terms, to beat it. The only time I have heard from her since was when my mom's phone wasn't working and Fran called me and left a message wanting to know if my mom was okay. I left her on red. So that told me that my mom hasn't cut her out completely, although she tells me she has. But I have, with my mom's blessing, taken control of any avenue Fran could possibly use to take advantage of my mother. I alerted the hospice nurses and social worker, and I let Fran know that I had done that as well. My mom also finally made some better friends who live nearby, and they also help keep an eye on her for me. That's good.
That is good.
More
but
friends.
Stop telling Fran what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Dude, stop keeping Fran in the loop. I did not go to the police as I didn't feel I had a case to do so, but I did let Fran know I wouldn't hesitate to do so if given reason. And you guys have a reason to listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. If Fran comes back around my mom or gives me any reason to think something is up, I'll update you all to let you know.
Oh, and we know you'll update her as well.
Yeah. She's got the newsletter. She's getting it every week. But as of now, my mom is safe. I handle all her medication as well as her finances, so no one can weasel their way into try to take anything at all away from my mom. Thank you to everyone for your care and concern. And relevant comments, new suggestion says they want her pills. Opie says, I thought the same thing, which is why I locked them up tight. My mom agreed to a camera right over her dispenser so we can keep eyes on her medication at all times. The machine I got her is pretty cool too and alerts me via text if the machine door is ever open. Not that it could be because it has a passcode on it that even my mom doesn't know. So there's lots of safeguards in place to ensure no one gets into all of her stuff. And that is the end of the story.
Stop telling her stuff.
Stop it.
Don't tell the person who's defrauding your mom who's going to be actively looking at her behavior now to see if it's fraudulent.
Oh, maybe I should be a little bit more sneaky.
Right.
But that is the end of that episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.